This one. Okay, so this is what you, yeah,
This is
you guys can see that.
this is version A.
Okay.
A stands for Art Ramon. Okay, so this is one of two book covers and titles that we have under consideration tonight. Okay. Now, are you able to show the other version?
Do you see it here?
Yeah, hold on. I'll describe it to you. Wait, don't click. So
Okay.
at the top, you've got Future Visions book front cover ambassador, not car mechanic. That's the back. The front is ambassador. So not car mechanic. Yes, ambassador. Okay. There you go. Okay, and so this is version B. And that's, you can see several differences. One, of course, is with the artwork. The other is with the title. And then the other is just kind of the layout is one has just the title and our name. And the other one has a lot of other interesting information on it. Okay, and so because we've had trouble getting going on this selection, that's my problem. I have not brought this before us because I'm so excited about BioShelter, but we got to get this over with. Okay, so we're going to do A-B voting tonight. We might as well just do it right now.
Well, okay, but are you sure we're only having the selection between those ones? Because
as I said, what you see here are artwork from Art and myself.
Yep.
Mine are the first two upper left, front and back cover. So the front, the only one I'm suggesting for the front is the Android woman, silver Android woman version.
Yeah.
And then Art did all of the rest of those, and he has decided he's going to just show the one that has been put in front. Okay, so that Art, I'm assuming that that's your own original artwork.
Correct. That is
right. And
yes.
Okay, so I'm comfortable going with just those two versions because the only two people entering so far are Art and I. We've picked one each. This is what we're suggesting. That doesn't mean that the managing editor can't veto them all and just do his own thing. He's in charge.
Okay. Who's
Yeah,
Alan?
I don't want to operate that way though. But yes, yeah.
Okay, so we're going to vote. And we might as well just do it publicly here now. I just want to go last.
That's so nice. Are you sure? That's so nice. Come on, guys.
We're talking about just the front cover?
Right now, yeah, we're trying to get through very simple. What's on the front cover and what's the title? And Alora, let me say this, because you're unhappy with the lack of variety. Let me say this. Number one, I'm still curious. Can we get multiple options on book covers? I don't know this because I'm not in Amazon. And then the other thing is, Alora, that we got another one next year that I'm going to make you write a chapter. Everybody, listen to me. If you haven't noticed, I am just ecstatic. Alora was the one who got David Shapiro to do an entire hour-long podcast on cyberocracy. And he called her out by name several times. Okay. If you haven't seen the episode, you must stop after this meeting and immediately listen to it. But she had some very good questions. Alora, would you just take a second before we do the vote and tell everybody about what you said to David and what basically he said in his podcast, please?
Way to put me on the spot, Mike. Well, actually, it was he was talking about government and how it's going to be so refined that its efficiency is just going to get better and better. So what happened was he had a town hall for his Patreon supporters at the higher tier, and that was my Christmas present to myself. I went up to the higher tier so I could be a part of it. And then they have questions. People can vote on the questions that they want to hear. So mine was way near the bottom and he didn't get to it. But then it turned out that he had like a whole video worth of content on the subject, which was just how AI can reform government. And the thing is that I wanted to know how he could see government change and get more efficient with AI. And yeah, you really just have to watch the video because he goes through, he always has really nice slide decks so you can follow along and you can just see like the important points. And so yeah, so no, I can't like summarize what he said, but you know, I think that David Wood had a really good idea with super democracy. And I would love to see those two talk about AI and government reform. I really would. So I will indulge you and I'll write an essay about it. But I think that those two should talk because yeah, I think that crowdsourced voting will change everything. I think that when you can't threaten a politician when a politician's an AI, and if you don't like them, whatever, they're an AI, they're out of harm's way, it'll be different. I think it'll be different. So yeah.
Well, one more time, congratulations on getting somebody that level to engage on a topic to that level of detail. And that's all we talk about here is how do we deal with economic and government systems? What are the options that we have for the near future as AI and robotics change our world? And
well,
so
you should talk to him about post-labor economics because yeah, he's got a lot to say about that. So
yeah,
I think you two would have a good conversation about that.
fantastic. Oh, I was very impressed. Okay. Thank you again, Alora. Let's do the vote.
Thanks.
Let's just get this out of the way. A or B. Show them
Okay.
again. Show A
Okay.
first, please.
I'm gonna say B. Just
Okay.
this is A though. This is A. The reason is she just kind of looks freaky to me. I love androids, but she kind of looks freaky.
I'm pretty sure that I just said that this is B. Why? Because A is for art. So
Oh,
you're
A is
gonna-
for art. My bad. My bad.
It's okay. It's okay. I rattled you with putting you on the spot. It's my fault. So okay, this is
Okay.
B. This is B. Okay, this is mine. This is my artwork and my layout. Go ahead and show.
I like the layout though, but
And then this is arts. And I've made a comment about the topic, the title. You know, it's very close to Callum Chase's. Art has made a good point that he's got subtitles in this. I'll point out that I think that Callum has had a different subtitle for each of his 3 editions. So it's just something to be aware of. We don't want to offend somebody like Callum. I've been trying to court him for years now to get him to write a chapter. Of course, that'd be a big step down for the guy who wrote the original book, but at least get him engaged as an expert. But anyway, this is A. And so let's start the voting again. So let's start at the bottom of what I see on my screen is Jason. Jason, are you voting A or B?
I was just writing in the chat. I'd go for that one that's on the screen now just because there's more information on the screen.
Okay, so that's
It tells me what's in the book. You know what I mean? The other one I wouldn't know.
okay. So Laura, Jason is an A. Ada, you're next. A or B?
Well, I like the B chick, but it's just a chick. I need the guys, I need everybody in there. And she seems a little bit like cold, like a frozen Rihanna or something. So I like it, but I like this one better.
Okay, so that's
the one that's on the screen. What's bothering my craziness, this surviving and thriving in the era of economic singularity. It's almost like maybe that's the point. It's can it be some other color to pop out? It's like all over my little guy's stuff.
Yeah.
hold on a second. Hold on a second. Let me just say something really good about what's happening is we're doing a vote, but you're also getting editorial comments for everybody. So that's, well, I mean, whichever one is the favored artwork, you know, art is the artist.
Yes, and I love it.
Managing editor is Alan. What we'll do is we'll maybe whichever way the majority goes, that will be the one that you focus on, and then you fine tune it. But I'm trying to make some movement here. So Jason had a
Yeah.
comment, Ada had a comment. I cut you off. Please, Ada, what else did you
Yeah.
want to say about it?
Well, please, don't mind me. I love it. This is something that I also do at work. And I get done to my own self. So I consider you my friend, and I'm just
Yeah.
talking.
Yeah, I'm using the free version, and it
Yeah.
limits me on fonts. So once I
Oh.
pay for it, I'll be able to
Yeah.
have a greater selection of fonts that are more clear.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you very much. Other than that, I love the little creature. It reminds me of what we have, like the Bogomil graveyard stones with the Bogomil artwork, something way back from then up to this current, and all that little pointy stuff and everything. I really enjoy it. I really do. Thank you.
Very good. Okay, Alora is keeping track. So next is Alan. Alan, which one do you vote for?
Well, I'm enamored with them both, but I like slick and techno, whatever. So I was voting for B, but it really needs the text upgrade. I like the future visions. We could do that, but it does needs that surviving and thriving in an era of economic transition. And I think a collection of essays for future proof in your life and all that. I think all that's great. I mean, the surviving, thriving, and the guide to future proofing are kind of wash into the background. So whatever. I mean, I don't think that would happen on the other cover, but I like the smooth black simplicity, and I don't know.
Okay, so Alan is a B.
With
Continuing
text.
comments on the subtitles, and I will point out that the mentioning David Wood on the front cover is brilliant.
Yes.
So I mean, that's a clear, good selling point, right? We're going to emphasize that as we go to the mass media and say, look, we're writing this book, and it's not just us folks. David Wood is highlighting this. So anyway,
I think Laura just nailed the text there. Future visions, essays for approaching the economic singularity.
Thanks.
all right. Art, you're up to vote. Which one do you vote for, my friend?
Oh, my own A.
Yes, right. Okay. Alora, you already tipped your vote, so say it again out loud.
A.
Oh, you're A now. Okay. All right. So I misunderstood. I thought you
So-
wanted.
A
You-
for art.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Okay. So there's 2 for B, I think is what I'm counting, and 4 for A, right? So
Yes.
it's clearly
Did Bill
this one.
vote?
I'm sorry, what?
Did Bill vote?
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't see him on my participants. Bill, please go ahead and vote. I'm sorry. I didn't.
Yeah.
Thank you. I vote for B.
Okay. So
Just to tie it up.
no, I think it's 4-3. Alora,
It is.
what's by the way, is there anybody else that I've skipped?
My
We're not
honor
asking-
pilot.
Yeah, we're not asking out of pilot. Alora, what's the vote?
I have 4 for A, and did he vote B? He voted B. So
Yes.
1, 2, 3. 3 for B.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was
right,
there someone else? Did I count wrong? I'm sorry.
No. I think
Sounds
you
right.
got it.
Sounds
I think that's what I'm hearing too as well. So, okay, so this is Art Wins. This is the book cover. This is the title.
Okay.
You guys can, of course, continue to work this, but between those 2 options, we're down to this. Then you guys work how you want to finish that off. Okay. Between Art and Alan and some of the other folks commenting. Ada's raising her hand. Ada, what do you want to say?
Another nitpicky thing. OmniFuturists, do they have a hyphen or not? I kind of like it without.
Yeah, we don't right now, and
I like it together. I mean,
yeah, I'm just saying, we aren't using a hyphen in OmniFuturists. Just
Well, are we using a capital F?
yes.
Okay. Ben and I had this discussion last weekend too, when we were editing. So there were Yeah, we had every variation possible.
Ellen, you got
Yeah.
your hand up.
Yes, yeah, I just wanted to ask about, do we want to stick with the economic singularity? I think it's very close to Chance Callum's book, and again, I don't want to offend him. I don't want to over flatter him either. And I think that future visions is something we could stick with for generations, right? It could be future visions every year, whether we change topics or not, right?
That's cool. Yeah.
And
I like that.
I think the subtext that Laura posted in the chat back whenever, before all the autopilots jumped in.
It was
Great
future
way to-
visions, essays for approaching the economic singularity. Because then we still have the keywords economic singularity. You know, it still might lead people to seek out his book. So I mean, I think that that's good. But yeah, I like the foreword by David Wood too.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
absolutely. Yeah.
let's capture what we're at and double check that everybody's still cool with this. The suggestion is that we change the title using all of these graphics, but change the title to be Future Visions. And I want to do the vote again. Just to, I don't want
Yeah,
to,
that's appropriate. Sure.
yeah, I don't want to be dictating anything, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
let's
I
do
want
it.
everybody to have a voice in this stuff. We all are contributing a chapter, right? So, all right. So, Cam, because I skipped you, we're going to start with you. Future Visions for the title, is that acceptable to you? Yes or no?
Yes, I like future visions, and I like the subtitle that Alora just mentioned, essays or whatever, that really tells people what to expect in the
Okay.
book.
Very good. All right. So, Ada,
Ditto,
okay.
same.
Alan,
Also ditto, and then including the OmniFuturist without the hyphen and forward by David Wood.
okay. Art, are you okay with this change?
Oh yeah, I'm fine. I mean, I'm for collaboration. A lot of what I do is an iterative process, so
Right.
taking
Yeah.
in other ideas is perfectly fine with me.
Yeah, and I love the image. Let's keep it. That's
Yeah. Okay. And Jason, you're off my screen, but I think you're still here. Jason, what do you say?
Works for me.
Okay. And I think it's Alora. Alora, what do you think?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I'm glad that it makes sense.
Okay.
And yeah, I really like the picture too. I like how it's like a bot that's coming into material is, you know, it's like materializing, it's pointillism. So
You know, actually, when I first saw it, I thought of nanobots, you know, because a lot of
yeah,
times when they do, I've seen some recent nanobots where it's just like 6 little cells of something, you know. Anyway, of course, I agree with Future Visions as a title. And by the way, I do think of our group as not a single topic group. Okay. So I really do think of us as trying to, well, what's the title? OmniFuture,
I like the
OmniFuturists.
orange.
Yeah, we're trying to look out a few years ahead and try and anticipate some of the things that are coming. And what would you do about it? What are the good technical approaches for economics and science? So I think that we've gotten far enough that Alan and Art can continue to work this book cover, and we can say that the title and the book cover are finally done. Any last comments before we go on to the next topic?
yes. I would like to insert an item for a future agenda. Like first, I like, kind of like a joke, right? 7 transhumanists and their bots vote on an issue A or B and agree on C. I really, I kind of like the Hegelian dialect there. And I think, like a lot of these things, we're encountering them as we pull all the pieces together and tie kind of tie up what's the cover going to look like, etc. And I really would like to have this conversation, with the plenary group in like January, third weekend in January, maybe, kind of see where we're going. And I know we won't have everybody who's going to be on board at that time, but that might help us guide our search for the right people to get on board. And also, yeah, kind of like, and then like maybe February, have some definitions set, like whatever it is we're talking about. If it's singularity, we all agree we're using Callum Chase's definition, right? Or if it's something else, we're using David Wood's Raft 2030 or whatever. Yeah.
Sure.
So let's go back for a second because I may have misunderstood what you're talking about. Are you talking about what we are going to do as a group in the future, or are you talking about the book?
I'm talking about the book we do in the future as one vertical of all the things we do in the future.
Okay, so let me reframe where I'm trying to go, my friend Alan. The reason I'm emphasizing these details is we must complete the work on the book and get it published in early January.
Yeah.
Because we're going to start with the virtual enlightenment salon. David Wood and I are invited to discuss our book. Most of you guys are on the board of the USTP, so you're going to be there anyway, right? So we want to have the book out and available. And so we need to go through some of the details on just the book, this year's edition of the book.
Right.
Other bigger topics we'll talk about in a minute, but I want to really focus on the details and make sure we know the status of the book. Because remember, I brought up the bioshelter project in the middle of all this. I couldn't hold myself back any longer. So
sure,
we really need to finish this off. So I'm going to say title and book cover are done. The next topic I wanted to cover was status. Okay, the chapter status and the editing. Do you have your spreadsheet up to date, Alan, on status? Do you
not
know?
quite, but I can display it. Or
Yeah.
I think, Allura, are you showing your screen right now?
I'll make you a host, Alan, and then you can share your status.
Sure.
How's that sound?
Trying to respond. It's responding to.
Jumping.
He's the
over.
host now.
Oh, good. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm not sure how good that is, but that's the case. All right. Let's see.
Mike, you can catch up on some comments in chat.
I'm never good at this, guys. If you don't know me by now, I do not read chat while I'm trying to talk to people. I just can't do it.
No worries.
And then it disappears when we leave the meeting. Hey, I got two questions then. So, Laura, will you be taking notes on things like Ellen tried to insert some things about the direction of the group in the future that need to be added and addressed in let's say February? Are you making notes about those concepts or those comments?
Why would I make notes when we have autopilots?
Oh, okay. All right. No, if you're
Fair
able
enough.
to pull that off, that's great. I don't know how to do that.
Okay, so whoever has the upgraded autopilot, I will find the transcript from you. I have email invites to look at all the notes every week. So I
Okay.
can just find the transcript and I'll just throw it into a folder in Google Drive.
Cool.
But I agree, this is something Maura was big on too, was what are our terms?
Yep.
And so that when we come to the table, we're talking about singularity. What are we talking about? And I think that if we're making YouTube videos and if we're meeting every week, we could probably find a topic to talk about, you know, because I know it's been bioshelter lately, which is a great side project, but we could also just have our own version of a salon and hang out and talk about futurist topics if you want.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And let me just say this then. As far as I'm concerned, we might get to a point where it's all in Alan's queue for prepping the book for publication. And let's say next Saturday, some of these if we're getting together, I can't remember if it's Christmas or not next Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
But where I'm trying to go with this is
Not
I
yet.
have no problem setting that up as like an agenda item, is some of these topics of let's clarify our terms and get some sort of consensus. These are great ideas. Does that sound fair to you guys? Is we'll use a Saturday for that?
Sure. We
Yeah.
just prime us in the Discord, and that way we
Yeah.
can talk about it and come up with something so that when it's time to do the talk, we have our notes there in the Discord. We can just have a window open and it's there.
It's very good.
So, yes,
Ellen,
Ida.
Ellen, are you going to be able to share your status? Go ahead.
Yeah, I wouldn't let that conversation play out. I thought that was valuable discussion there. So, okay.
Ada, what did you want to say, Ada? Sorry.
Regarding our terms, I'm sure Tom is not available for this meeting, but I'm sure he would share with us the stack of terms that he's already created. We can use them on OmniFuturist website as well, if that's something that you would consider.
I would
Cool.
like you to bring those to the meeting when we discuss those. Is there any way for you to share it in Discord so like I can read it?
I'll get with Tom tomorrow afternoon and check on that for sure.
Please, I'm very much up for that. I think that starting from somebody else's work already on defining terms is great. I don't want to reinvent the wheel, but Maura, Alora, and others, Alan has asked this many times, can we at least have a discussion and a consensus on terms? And yeah, I guess I'm not paying as much attention to that because
No, you got
part of part of my viewpoint is that I want a variety of opinions. I don't want a singular opinion, right? But I like this idea of having a discussion on basic terms because we'll talk past each other unless we have a good definition. So that no, that's good. Okay.
Yeah, let's define everything.
So yeah, just to give you a quick update, and I've kind of been updating as I'm going through here. I'm not actually sure about all of Ben and Alora's edits, but Ben and I went together for quite a bit last week, and so I know he's pretty much updated everything except Maura's.
Okay.
And then which I thought we were fine with, and at some point, and we were just going to include it as is because I know she's got other stuff going on. Same with Luis. He and I went over it, and he and Ben went over it. I don't know if you talked with him, Laura, but he was kind of. I mean, we made some little corrections, like, well, how is OmniFuturist spelled? Everybody had it there. We had OmniFuturist, 2 words. We had OmniFuturist, all lowercase. We had upper and for OmniFuturist. And we had hyphenated, so we had to run the gamut there, and I'm glad to get a definitive answer on that. And then Art, you and I have talked, and seems like you said I still want to make some corrections, so I've held off on going back over that. But let me know when you're ready, and real close there.
No, I think the only thing is that I had not accepted the changes I was making myself when I turned it in on the deadline. And when you started editing, you were actually editing a previous version because I forgot how to use tracking in Word. So
yeah, I understand that.
Yeah, but I think the version that Ben edited was my most current version.
Okay, and you're good with that one?
Yeah, and did you take a look at it after Ben's edit?
I am not sure, but I'm going to go ahead and you concur. You concur with Ben's edits? I mean,
With Ben's edits, yes, okay. I accepted those.
All right,
but your edits were from that older version, so
gotcha. Right, previous. I've looked at it. I've looked at the new one, so and it looked pretty good. And all right, so I think it's ready for download, and I'll go through and just double check and make sure everything's accepted, and I'll get that.
Let me make a editorial comment.
Please.
I think that this is pretty close to the time where you have to get the guillotine out. That if we're going to actually have a product, we got to stop goofing around with it.
Right.
You, Alan, and Ben have done heroic efforts in editing. I've been very happy at I don't know if you guys have some sort of automated software that does all that stuff, but my God, yeah, Ben had a tremendous amount of work that he put into mine. I really appreciate it, but we got to move on.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to have anything. Okay, so I want to say that if you feel comfortable, Alan, you ought to just go ahead and say we are ready to to put it into book shape. Okay.
Okay, I added a line there. We have put one author through the guillotine, so it will not be represented. But and then so like Zach and I had a very lengthy and productive conversation, a couple hours on a Monday, I think, and we rewrote his conclusion to make. I mean, he stated what his conclusion was rather simply, but we kind of went back in and said, you know, based on these things, here's, you know, like kind of tell them what you told them, kind of made it more like that rather than just to say here's a conclusion. So anyway, that was good. And then Mike Sines and I did the same thing, and he was like, "Oh, I see what you mean. It just stops. It doesn't it doesn't conclude. It just stops, you know." So he was going to do that, and then we talked last week. He hadn't got to it, and so this week he needs to get to it, and I'll double check with him on that.
I think that for your sanity, you're going to want to say to the authors, look, either you finish this or I'm going to correct it and we're going to print it. Okay? Because, you know, you get in the holidays and people start partying, get drunk and forget what they're doing.
Sure.
we got to get finished here. Okay. Right. This is the holidays. So anyway, we're running up on the deadline. And
so the last person is Bill or Cam. You and I haven't spoken. Is he still on with us or?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Okay. And then Jason, did you submit anything? I got nothing from you.
No.
Okay. All right. All right.
No, I haven't.
All right. I just wanted to double check and make sure. I'm throwing in another black line here. All right. We're canceling Jason. Too late, Jason.
And, let me double check. Let's see. Daniel knows that his chapter is not going in the book, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. All right. Good. All right. So I guess I'm ready. I think we're ready. It's up to you, Alan. Let me point out that I believe Alora has said several times that she'd like to be part of the effort in taking the raw manuscript and shoving it into book shape. Is that true, Alora, or are you overbooked now? I just want to make sure that's clear.
I'm interested in learning, and I will jump in and see what they're doing, but I can't really commit to work because I can't tell you how swamped I've been. I wake up at 5:30 just so that I have half an hour to myself a day. Like it's been crazy with my practicum. So yeah.
Okay.
But I left some notes. What did you say?
I said how selfish of you to have a half hour.
Oh my, I
I'm
know.
kidding.
I have
I'm
so many
kidding.
books I want to read. It's insane. But yeah, I was able to go through half a document and I it was Bill's, I think, and I gave my notes and he resolved it all. So it just needs someone else to go through and do the spell checking and stuff. But yeah, like I mean, mine's all good to go.
Okay, good.
And yeah.
Okay,
so
well,
Yeah.
I will be continuing to do that. Let me know if there's a better time of the day for you. You mentioned that time of the day was only good for Fridays, and so let me know.
I'll have Fridays off going forward, starting like next week, and over the holidays I have a few commitments. Like Mike wants us to upload a YouTube video with a little summary of our input. But since mine's poetry, it's just going to be voice. It's just going to be reading, and then I might need some music, so I might hit up Jason Geringer to see if he'll help me. But but yeah.
Good.
So
He'd be a good one to ask if you get a chance to ask. Yeah.
Okay, so let me go over one other aspect that
I was actually thinking about writing a tune about the OmniFuturists stuff.
Ooh.
Yeah, we need a theme song, man. That's what we need.
I'm
I
like
just
a
made a
professional
transhumanist
singer.
one.
I have a mic. So, just to find the time, man.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Mike, what we need is if we're gonna like have these podcasts on YouTube or something, we need a cool, you know, creative intro and old flashy
actually,
logo.
well, you guys don't know this, but I think it was early this year I asked Jason to do Dr. My Eyes, and he did a fantastic recording instrumental, and I have not been successful in convincing him to sing, but I have convinced Laura to sing, she will sing the song, and now Jason is thinking he will also sing. So I like an instrumental version, a duet version, an Alora only version, and a
Can I
Jason. Go ahead.
ask why this song? Why
Yeah,
this song?
You know, there part of it is, I think, when you listen to or read the lyrics, when he's talking about how he's just been kind of not paying attention to what's happening, okay, and then is suddenly awoken. I'll have to go back through the lyrics, and what I'll do is I'll try to describe what about that not noticing people and what they're doing, how much that parallels my own life. If you don't know, I've been kind of a bubble boy. As an aerospace engineer, I just have had no experience with poverty, homelessness, trouble. I don't associate with them because they're all engineers. They're all making money. We all got good benefits. And suddenly, by my work with Jasmine, suddenly realized that the vast majority of Americans have been left behind. And you saw that in my discussion about the left behinds with Dr. Sharif, where I was taking David Wood's stuff. You know, it's been remarkable to me to see how bad things have gotten across America. And so anyway, that's a kind of a downer. Sorry. Everybody's been laughing until Mike starts talking about why that. And by the way, this was a song that I heard a lot when I was a kid. I loved it when I was a kid, had no idea what the song was about. When I heard it recently, I hadn't heard it in decades. I started crying. I mean, it really, really hit me. Okay. And
sad songs are my favorite. I love sad songs, man.
Okay.
You know?
And that particular artist is not a real heavy duty artist, right? But that particular song really struck me. So that's one way. It's kind of like the way Overman hit me when I heard you, Alora, singing Overman. So I got a couple of these theme songs that at least struck me that I want for theme music as introduction. I want to edit our recordings, especially the business pitch for BioShelter and stuff, for good intros. And there's a lot of improvements ahead.
Well, you have my permission to use any of my music. That's already there. But I will be recording some lyrics, some vocals for you for that song.
And we are going to be promoting Laura's singing and Jason's singing. There was one other, the next topic for me on the book. Let's go back to the book. See, you guys asked me a question and then
we got totally sidetracked. Because I would say songs that have not been recognized for their time is Steve Miller's "Fly Like an Eagle," right? It's all about poverty and taking care of your fellow man and all that. And
that's right. Yeah, no, there's a series of these that I would love. We're going to work through them. Trust me, Jason and Laura, you guys will be busy. All right, so next one on the book. I wanted to reemphasize that one of the things we talked about was that the poems would be appearing before each chapter, spread through. There's one in particular that I want in front of my chapter, and then there's going to be a discussion on the order of the chapters. Okay, David Wood is obviously first. That's the first chapter is David Wood. I'm not even going to brook any discussion on that. Okay, he's our superstar. He goes first. I'm going to request to be second. Okay. That's very selfish of me, but sorry, I want to be in there second. The rest of them, okay, managing editor, you put them in the order you want. So I just have a couple of requests on the order. David Wood first, I want to be second, and I got a poem that I want in front of mine. Okay, Alan, that's going to be up to you to figure out, and discussions with the other authors. Perhaps they look through Mora's and Alora's poems and decide which ones they want. I just want to get those things out in front of everybody so they're not surprised. Hey, what's Diverty doing in chapter 2, right? No, okay. Sorry, I'm going to be a pig about that. Any comments?
I think she's got a poem that's straight up called The OmniFuturists.
Yeah.
But anyway, you have the list, Alan.
Yeah, I think so. I was just looking at the folder again. I think I have the list. But
I think there was one she did in like Latin that is the one that I want.
There you go.
I'll have to look through the list again. That was a while ago. Okay.
Make sure there's
we
a
go.
translation.
Yeah. Well,
do we want to, or do we just like leave
no,
that?
no.
No,
Actually,
keep it a cult. Keep it a
no,
cult.
the one in front of mine will be in that language. You know, there can be a translation someplace else, but no, I
On the
want
back, in the back of
Latin
the
or
book.
whatever she did. Okay. Let's see. On formats for Amazon, I am going to order paperbacks. Okay, that's for sure. I'm going to want physical books.
Okay.
Okay. We also will want the option of ebooks because a lot of people don't do that. Okay. And I also want us to offer the free PDF. Okay. Because I think we all know the book on Amazon is going to be what, $3 or something. You know, we're not,
Yeah,
we're
let's
not
add for 10,
charging
if it drops
40
to a
bucks.
dime, that's fine. Yeah, I get it.
You know, none of these are going to be expensive, but I do want a free version for the folks in, let's say, Bolivia who wanted to read it. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Part of the reason I wanted to have recordings by the authors, there's two aspects: the 10-minute summary posted on YouTube. Why do we want to do that? So that people can get a quick, like, TED Talk version, right? The other thing that we've talked about is having the authors actually read their entire chapter. Ada, I'm thinking about you. It's not just you. It's not just some of the folks who have a disability and they would prefer to be able to hear it and have trouble reading it. It's not just dyslexia or blindness. Okay. It's also all the people want audiobooks. I listen to audiobooks, right? I read a lot, but physical books. But okay, so I just want the authors to realize we are requesting that you can, if you will, do a 10-minute recording summarizing your points. And the second thing is do a recording of your entire chapter. If you don't want to do it, the reading of your whole chapter, perhaps we can find somebody else who will read it for you so that we have the whole book read out in one form or another. Okay?
There's AI ones that do it pretty good.
Yeah, I will not have a robot reading mine. Okay, I'm gonna
Well, I
read.
mean, you can't. There's ones now that are so good that you can't tell. There's ones you can even like speak to it, and
Well-
it'll change your voice into another one,
Yeah.
and it keeps your tone and your emotion and stuff. They're getting really good.
And so there's different reactions going on. Jason, I think your point is very good. Ada, if an author does not want a robot reading their stuff, then they read it themselves or they get a friend to read it or something. But Jason's got a point, is that that's kind of what's happening, right? Is somebody in, I forget who, it was Colin, posted about this new news channel. Did you guys watch that?
No.
Channel1.ai. It is the newscasters are all robots. It's all AI simulated correspondence. It's free and it's online. So if you're a news host or a TV presenter, now the robots are coming for your jobs, right? Can you imagine being able to just, and they're advertising it as tailored news for you, legitimate, good news, not fake news, but it's not presented by humans. It's all CGI news hosts, right? So I think Jason's got a point that if somebody doesn't want to read it, they can have a bot read it. Okay, but let's go through the authors who are here and see who's willing to do the 10-minute. Alora, please try to keep track of who's willing to do this. So I'm
Okay.
put me down for both the 10-minute summary and reading my chapter. Okay, and we'll go through each author. Art of those.
10 minutes seems kind of long to me. Maybe 5 minutes.
Okay.
I can do.
Sure.
Okay.
Uh,
Let me
and-
rephrase it. A summary, a video summary of your chapter for YouTube. Okay. So
Okay.
yes, on the summary,
Yes. Yeah.
would you read your chapter?
I'll read it. But how will we record it? What sort of files?
We'll get there. We'll get
Okay,
there.
okay.
Not now. Not. I just want to see who's willing to do it and who says no chance. Okay. So Alan, you're next. Which
I'm undecided about how I'll get it delivered, but I listen to books all the time. So
If
either I'll
you
read it or a bot will read it, or I'm going to get my friend George Goldthwait to read it.
if you guys have just even a recorder on your smartphone, you can make an MP4, or sorry, you can make it like an MP3 file, like just a recording, and you can send it to me. And I have a video editor program. I can put the audio. You just send me a picture you want with it, and I can put it together for you.
Thank
So
you.
let me know. Yeah, it's not hard to do that.
Right. So we are asking for video for the YouTube. That's your summary is a video, but reading the chapter can be any sort of sound file, correct, Alora?
Yeah. And I mean, like, even if you wanted the chapter to be as well, just an audio file, but if you want their face and you want them reading it like reading from a script almost, then sure. But I can also just throw together a video on my editor. So
Which editor do you have? Do you have
it's called Movie Maker
Filmora?
Video Editor Pro.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, that's one's been around. There's a new one called Filmora. That's a very kind of dumbed down editor if you've used.
I've got that one too.
Yeah. I
I'm
like
in-
it because it'll stitch together some about an 80% job on putting together the right graphics for a talk over kind of video. And it just
Oh, okay.
pulls them out. You put it in AI mode, and it's pretty neat. Yeah, I was.
Oh, no, my bad. I have something called a Wondershare Uni Converter. That's different.
Oh,
Yeah, no. I don't think I've tried Filmora yet.
I deleted it because it requires tokens and fee, so you
Oh.
buy your tokens, but I tried the free version and I put together some cool stuff and it was like, I need a better picture for that. And there's like AI gallery. You just tell
Mhm.
our AI gallery and it generates a picture for you.
Nice. PowerPoint I've been experimenting with the PowerPoint AI doing that slideshows. But
So,
yeah.
well, that's a whole other sideshow for this. But all right, so and yeah, Laura, if you can help me find that
I'm on it.
help me find. Okay. And then
Yeah.
Mike, let's get back to you so we can get going here.
Okay. I think the last author to vote is going to be Bill because I don't think there's anybody else here. Bill, which of those two are you willing to do?
I would prefer to do the 10-minute summary. I tried doing audiobook before and I wasn't happy with the way my voice sounded, so I ended up going with a robot. But I don't know, it's better when I feel more comfortable when I'm just talking spontaneously in a summary than reading verbatim. It doesn't seem to work out very well for me.
Okay, so I'm going to write you down for you're going to do your summary video. That's fantastic. Thank you. We're trying to get these done, by the way, before we go on to the Enlightenment Salon. So if you guys could have,
What's the
let's
date
say
on that?
I'm sorry, what?
Oh, what's the date on that? Yeah.
Oh, it's the 28th of January. I think that
Okay.
Sunday has been set aside for us. So let's say mid-January, everybody should have their 10-minute videos if they're going to do one completed. Ada, you have your hand up.
I'm a pain, am I not? As a reader, I've been using audiobooks very much last couple of years. I have to say there is something so special when the author himself, it's just like that connection is even more so. And I mean, everybody, you all do whatever you are comfortable with, of course. But even if you're using AI like Bill is planning to do, right? Maybe find some way and just say a sentence. This is my friendly AI doing my work. This is my friendly dog doing her work. But it means a whole lot to hear the author. It's a difference. Everything else might be prettier, better, whatever. But at any given moment, I prefer the man with thoughts or person with all those thoughts to just be even closer and more present, and to just see the source where all that gorgeousness is coming out of. So that's just what I wanted to say.
Well,
Thank you.
I appreciate that. That's very good, because I was about to say that I really detest the sound of my voice. So I understand what, not the same as Bill. Bill was saying he didn't quite like his voice. I really hate hearing my recorded voice. So, but I'm going to do it anyway. Okay. My grandkids are going to, oh, there's Grampy talking about his book or whatever. So it's more of a legacy thing than I know my voice is terrible. So anyway, okay. So those were the things that I wanted to nail down on the book. Cover, title, a little bit about what's the status on the edits, the order, and then some of the media that we're going to start preparing. That's the next part of it. As Alan and assisted by Alora, they get the book into a final configuration and pour it into Amazon. Then we got to start thinking about how are we going to start discussing it. And I was very flattered that Gennady invited David Wood and I on to talk about the book. Okay, so that'll be a great kickoff for whatever we're trying to do for expanding it. I got one last topic. Now I'm going to set aside this year's edition of the book. You guys may not have heard me, but I'm really pressing Alora hard to write a chapter on cyberocracy. Okay. I just joined for next year's book. I'm talking about next year's book now. I've joined a group for technocracy. One of these guys already wrote 2 different constitutions for different styles of technocracies. And I'm saying, dudes, write a chapter on technocracy for next year's edition and we'll include it, right? Because I was going to do a technocracy chapter. Okay, so where I'm trying to go with this is we should be starting to reach out. Dr. Sharif has said that he wants to write a chapter. Next year's edition is going to be expanded. And as far as I'm concerned, Alan, you're still the managing editor for next year's edition. I certainly hope
Appreciate your vote of confidence.
Hey, right? So I just want everybody to think about, do you want to do something different for your chapter next year? If you already wrote one, do you want to rewrite yours? You want a different topic, or have you had enough with this year? So anyway, I think that's it for me. Anybody else have any last topics about the book? Go ahead, Alan.
I'm trying to see if my hand signs are working. Okay, they're not. So the order. Do y'all want to discuss the order at all tonight? I mean, we have
Sure, why not?
2 minutes, or if we run over, is that okay with folks, or
You decide.
I'll say one thing. Luis isn't here, but he has always been one of the earliest and most enthusiastic authors that we have. And when I think about the order, I would like to see alternation in topics. So you start off with David Wood, and he's kind of like a mixed market. It's kind of traditional liberal representative democracy, but a little bit heavier on the social agenda than maybe now, to support people as they lose their jobs, and redistributionist, but still capitalist of some nature, right? But then there's me, and I'm going more towards worker owner co-op, and you just hunker down on the farm and feed yourself. It'd be great, I think, if then we went to communist with Luis, followed by somebody like Michael Sines, who's kind of hardcore on this is not a real issue. Okay, you just need to re-educate people, right? So that's how I was thinking about it, right? Anybody else? Art, where?
I like that idea. It creates contrast, and so it doesn't sound all the same, and kind of just blend into it, and then lose focus. So the contrast, I think, creates interest. So definitely.
The other version of life was to try to set them up into sections. There's a section on the pro-capitalism. There's a section on really oddball alternatives. And then there's a section on, let's say, more lifestyle arrangements. And let's say it this way. Alan was like, how do you, as a person, prepare
Yeah.
properly for what's coming, right? The personal view. I mean, and these are all worthwhile debating how you structure it. But for me, alternating kind of radically in the topics as you go through gave people a better feel that instead of going left or right like most idiots do, there's a whole spectrum of solutions.
Right.
Stop thinking about it as only a D or an R. There's more to this. Okay.
I like Jason's comment about upwing.
Yeah.
Right. We're not right wing or left wing, we're upwing. Yeah.
That's right. Okay. Any other comments about that? Bill, what do you think?
Yeah, I like that approach. I think it should be an editorial decision, and we definitely want to start out with a strong one, because if people start read the book and they don't like the first essay, well, that will be the last essay they read.
That's right. Actually, real quick note on that. Callum Chase did something about Work 2045, and basically it was a bunch of essays in which people talked about, kind of like a science fiction, real short essays on what would happen. And I really could not finish it. The writing was just so bad. So exactly what you're saying, Bill, is sometimes, you just take a taste and you go, oh, that's horrible. Put it back down. That's why I want David Wood first. Yeah. I hope
absolutely. Yeah. So, all right.
You don't get to mine and say, oh my God, David was great. And then this Diverty guy, what the hell's wrong with this guy? No. We'll just see what happens. And maybe next year I'm last chapter. We'll see. Okay.
And I don't mind going last, because I think mine is sort of like, okay, all these people have overwhelmed me with their macro projects. I just want to know, do I need to buy canned food?
Right. All right. I think we've beaten it to death. Are we feeling pretty good about this? Alan, you're the managing editor.
I want to make sure I got your comments there. It was David, DeVerdi, and then Luis, and then Signs, right?
That's how I would have thought the first few. We got 10 chapters, right?
Yes.
Oh, and then continue to alternate them in topics so that you don't end up with two similar things in a row. That's how I would do it.
Yeah, that sounds great to me. And that's okay. That passes the sniff test with everybody else or whatever. That's sniff test. I don't know what I mean. Is that? I don't know how you guys do your laundry, but I'm just saying, is that how, like, it's all good?
Yeah, that's good. And yeah, no, it's good. The other thing would be, you might want to ask each author to try to select a poem that they'd like in front of their chapter. That's up to you. You're the managing editor. I'm going to tell you which one I want in front of mine. I'll tell you that.
You already did. You want the Latin version of, okay.
Yeah.
All right. And so, yeah, if you have a poem, feel free to go in there and read one, pick one, send me an email, and I will do my best to accommodate.
Thanks.
Otherwise, I'm just going to slap them in there willy-nilly. No, that's not right. I'm going to
let's
my own judgment on that.
Yeah, let's do this. Alora, how many poems did you write?
Only 2.
I thought it was only 2.
Yeah.
I'm mistaken.
Maura has a lot of them there.
Okay,
so
one was more like a short.
It was. Yeah. Actually, no. Okay, so I've got 2 poems, and then one is like a talking about how you want to make a think tank. That was the focus was. Why I'm writing about Prometheus and what that metaphor is.
Yes.
And then why we need to all be part of a think tank.
Yes.
So.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And where I was going to go with this is, of course, your chapter that you just described is going to be wherever Alan puts it in the sequence.
Yep.
Now, on your poems, perhaps you wanted to be in front of one of the chapters. Did you want to be in front of a David Wood chapter?
He's a forward.
Well, I saw that, and sorry, that does not appear to be a forward to me. You guys can call it a forward. Maybe that's really what it is. That's a chapter. A
It's a
forward
chapter.
is it's a
Well,
chapter.
if you want to be edgy, put Overman because it's very Nietzschean. Like,
I would love to see Overman in front of. Okay, that's my request. Is that put
Okay.
Overman in front of David Wood? Okay.
it's short too. It's not very long, you know.
Oh, and you know,
So-
if you guys haven't heard her sing that song, you
Yeah,
gotta
I have.
listen
It's
to it. Oh my God.
Thank you.
To me, it's and I also like the video that went with the song. You know, it kind of, I don't know.
Yeah, he does good work.
Surreal. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's very good. And it gets across the transhumanist edge that most of us feel in this group, right? Is the transcendence. It really captures it very well. So that's right. I would like to see Overman as a poem, then David Wood, then the Latin from Mora, then my chapter. Maybe Luis should probably weigh in on which poem he wants in front of his.
I don't think he wants the Overman. Oh, wait.
He'll probably give you a poem from Stalin or something.
Yeah, that's okay. That's what we need.
Something Allende said in Chile, you know, a speech from Allende. By the way, Laura, he's a big cyberocracy guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Luis is, so, you know.
Well, Allende's cyberocracy was just ahead of its time. I mean,
Yeah, it was.
you can do
I
that.
guess I guess I have a year to become a pro at this. You making me write a chapter.
I think I'm definitely going to make you write a chapter, okay? Because I think you've got some really good insights. Okay, I'm going to keep pounding on this. You got to get over this reluctance or this reticence. You've got a lot to offer us. Don't worry, kid.
Thank you. I just got my first grown-up job, so I'm just trying to nail it, you know.
All right. I think
Doing fine.
we're
and my apologies to Laura. I said too, I've got 3 with the notes by them that say ready for pub.
Yeah.
Okay.
Notes from the book, from the poet is not one of them, but I've read it before, and I wasn't sure if you were just like sending that about your poems because you want your poems in there, or if you want to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
you
thing
cite
is,
favorites.
it makes sense if it comes after the poems.
Yes, I saw that.
That's why, because it's just an optimistic note to just stick in there. That's all.
So
Okay.
yeah, so after your third one, it'll be
Yeah.
the next piece. We'll do it like
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
I got one last question for Alan. If you were to estimate when it would be in a format in which all of us could see the completed book, how long is that going to take you?
I'm shooting not finished book, but I'm planning to have everything arranged and ready and edited and formatted on a Word doc before Christmas. So
Oh, wow. Okay.
so that's kind of where that's going, but that's not quite ready for a book. But anyway, but that's pretty darn ready. And I've got it on the Word's got more formatting tools than what you call it, Word
PDF?
doc or well, certainly in PDF, but also the shared one, whatever that is, Word docs,
Google Docs?
Google Docs, yeah. And so it's offline, but I'm gonna get all that stuff dumped in there and cleaned up, and I'm taking the time to go through and kind of format each one individually, because typically if it's just text, you can just format the whole document at once. But like everybody's got bullet points and italicized stuff, so which is great. I mean, I'm not discounting that, but I am taking the time to go through and make sure those things are kept and that I'm not reinventing the wheel with their bullet points. So,
Right. And then, I'm going to ask the next question is then when would you load it into Amazon?
yeah, and again, I'm looking for like the first couple of weeks of January, so around the 15th is what I'm aiming for. It would be really nice to have that. Although, just because of the algorithms, if we release it after our salon, we can probably get pre-orders on the salon.
You
And
will advise us on that timing.
that's just kind of a gamesmanship.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we might want to just release it, whatever, the Tuesday after a salon or something like that. So,
Okay. And this is not really critical or important, but I just want you to know that I've got a ton of business trips coming up. I think it's January 7th through the 12th. I'm going to be completely out, which is kind of critical timing for
Oh.
all of this, right? And then trips in March, and then I'll be in Brazil for 10 days in June. And so this year is going to be tough for me. This project I'm on is just driving us all nuts. So
What's the result? What's the result you're looking for? 999, Boeing 999 or what?
no, it's a different type of antenna system. Yeah, I can't talk about it.
No, that's good enough. Yeah.
No, well, I
It's
mean,
latest yeah, antenna system. Cool.
Boeing is really big on announcing these things publicly, and I really can't talk about it, but it's
Yeah, I get you.
really cutting edge. I got 7 new patents coming out for this new
Awesome.
design. There's a group of engineers in Brazil and in California working on this stuff for me. So things are going really fast, and a lot of stress. Thursday we had a big design review, so I'm kind of like collapsing right now from this year has been really tough for me. So anyway, sorry about that. Nobody cares. Okay, thanks for your time tonight, everybody. I'm really feeling great about this book. I can't wait. Have a great weekend. And I don't know if we're going to get together next Saturday. Can somebody tell me when Christmas is?
I think it
Not
is,
Saturday.
or it's next Sunday, isn't it? Or is it Monday? I don't know. All right.
It's Monday. So December 25th is Monday. So, Sunday is Christmas Eve. And
Yeah,
the
so-
23rd is still like, people might be traveling to see their families though, but
Well, let's
don't
do a
know.
quick survey. Alora, would you be available next Saturday, or you got?
oh yeah, yeah. My last day of work is the 21st, and then I'm off until like sometime in January. So
Okay, I'm up for it. Art, would you
I'm
be
available.
okay? Alan,
Yeah, I'm
next
available.
Saturday.
So
Okay, Bill,
Yeah.
what do you want to
Ada.
talk about?
who's been naughty and nice?
Well, okay, Alora, I think that it would be decent for us to talk about terms. Why not?
Let's talk about Ghost in the Shell and why that's such a cool show.
Oh my God, I'm going to watch it tonight. The
Right.
original movie? No, I'm all set to watch it tonight. Okay.
I think it's on Netflix too.
Well, I bought them. I bought all
Right
of them.
on.
I've got them
Wow.
at Amazon Prime. I've got the original movie, all the series, the TV, anime, cartoon
Cartoons,
series,
yeah, the cartoons.
all of them. I've got all of them.
Yay.
Hold on a second.
Yeah. Christmas is just another day for us. So I mean,
I got all kinds of
Why not?
doodads,
Oh,
Come
yeah.
on, look at that.
yeah, no, I'm a nut on Ghost in the Shell for multiple reasons. One of which, of course, is I will be having my mind uploaded
Right.
into
Sure.
mechanical bots. Okay, so I know that, and so I'm looking to major as this is how my life will be. I'll have to. Okay, that's enough of that.
Hey, I had a question, Mike.
Major
Have
Mike.
you seen Altered Carbon? Have
Yes.
you seen Altered Carbon? Okay, I
Altered
love that. I'm
Yes.
rewatching that one too.
Yes.
I recommend the book too.
Yeah, right on. I should. I mean,
They're
so I
good.
can read in the first half hour of my day.
And Halo is on Amazon Prime till the end of the month.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, and on a more serious note, Carbon Copies is a group that I have tuned in for many times. These are PhD researchers that are writing the roadmap for mind uploading. They're serious about it. This is
Right.
not a joke. This is an anime, and they've done a lot of good. They've had a lot of good discussions on what we need to do for mind uploading. So anyway, yeah, I sound like a nut because I am a nut, but man, I am totally focused on longevity through mind upload. Okay, so nobody cares, but
I
that's
just want to make it 30 years until the next thing that'll keep us going for another 30 years, right?
Well, okay, but see, that's stage 2. I'm going to do this really quick, really quick. This is how I'm going to live for a very long time. Step 1, I stopped drinking, I stopped smoking, and I've lost 70 pounds. Okay, so the conventional stuff.
I'm
Next
gonna
step
agree with
is
you.
actually Dr. David Sinclair at Harvard Medical School with his epigenetic reprogramming. They've done some tests where they've used the Yamanaka factors, 3 of the 4, and they've rejuvenated optic nerves that were crushed. Okay, which if you've ever seen somebody that's blind, they never get their vision back again, but they've been able to restore vision after crushing an optic nerve. This is a
Wow.
precursor for rejuvenating your body, right? And epigenetic reprogramming is basically the way he's at Harvard Medical School. He's got his own lab. The way this was work is you get a shot of adenovirus that is the carrier, cold virus carrier. And what it'll do is reset your epigenetic settings so that your biological age goes from like 60 back to 25. And they can shut that process off. He says that, so I go from 60 to 20, then I continue biologically aging again, and then I get another shot. He says you can do this over and over and over again. There's no reason why not. So that's the way I'm going to extend, like you were just saying, out to the point at which you can actually do mind uploading. Okay. So see, I've got it all planned out.
All right. I know Art Ramona put in his 2 cents about the beyond. That's a great one.
Yeah, I remember that one. It's very good.
Yeah. I think I've talked way too much tonight. Thank you for putting up with me. Thanks for all your hard work on this book and this group.
Yeah, thank you for
Next
all
week-
of that. That's
Yeah, next week we'll talk
Nice.
about terms. Ada, please help us out with Tom's list. And
Okay.
Ellen, I know you and Alora have wanted this for a while. Let's talk about terms and get some common definitions and understandings. Fair?
I
Yeah,
think that-
Tom's got like a Gnostic feel to some of his ideas. I really like it. So looking forward to it.
Okay. Cool.
And yeah, and
Thank
I would
you,
like
everybody.
to
All right,
bug in everybody's ear and say, hey, think about the next book. What do you want to write about? What do you want to study? What do you want to, engage your mind with, right?
I know my topic. I'm going to write a chapter on negative income tax because I think UBI won't work.
There's something to that. Yeah.
You need to read this book called The Towers of Utopia.
Okay.
By, let me see,
Towers of Utopia.
Mac Reynolds, I think.
Can
Oh
you-
man, I keep
can you-
trying. Yeah,
Can you put it in Discord for me?
Yeah, for
and
sure I can. Okay, for sure. Yeah.
Okay. No, I negative income tax is my chapter for next year.
And
I
what
was
was the name of
gonna
that
do
Harvard doctor too, for my notes?
Dr. David Sinclair. And
Gotcha.
you can do YouTube. He is prolific on discussing this, but I'm taking NAD plus and metformin, which are 2 things that he talks about all the time, and rapamycin, and there's something else I'm taking, resveratrol. He talks about all these. I'm taking all of those. Okay. But the one you want to make sure you listen to is his epigenetic reprogramming.
Super.
Okay. And what I'll try to do is I'll try to find something and I'll put it in Discord so that, like a YouTube of him talking about this stuff. So you guys can, because I've read his chapters and his research papers for the last 3 or 4 years. He's serious about rejuvenation techniques, serious science. Okay.
Yeah, super duper.
Okay. All right, everybody. Thank you.
All right, y'all.
Good night.
See you
Stay
next Saturday.
awesome.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
See you on Discord. I'll get over there.
Yeah, for sure.